What's going on, everyone? Yeah, look who it is. It's Microsoft again, do I need to say the word? Windows Update hits AC Shadow's gaming preference by up to 50%, meaning there's a 50% nerf. Not only did they release that update not too long ago, crashing people's and screwing their performance with the task manager, they had to wait on that. They released another update not too long ago, apparently messing with people's computer, and now we got this going on. They just can't do anything right, right? And killing off the Xbox brand. Yeah, nothing new here. So Digital Foundry has a video here to share their analysis on it. I was reading on it, so I was like, here's a video to react to. Let's go ahead and get into this. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think.
Angry Alex is back. He's been, he's not happy. He's right here. He's written something on the sheet, our docket, which tells us everything we're going to be talking about. And it just reads, Windows Update KB5066835 ruins your day. Has your day been ruined, Alex?
I mean, this morning when I looked at it, this is more hilarity for me because I think Windows sucks at this point in time. Windows sucks, just like the PS3 sucks.
He straight up said it. Windows sucks. Everybody knows that. They were also forcing people off of Windows 10 to force you into a Windows 11. We saw what happened with Steam when a lot of those people were dropping off because they were being forced to use Windows 11, and they didn't like that. They have a creepy AI system. It's just annoying. Copilot is not all that. I mean, I don't really care for it. I mean, just lately, like I tell people, Microsoft is just on a serious anti-consumer spree. And even when they're not, they are. Like this update right here, killing gaming performance. Boy.
So, but it's just not fit for purpose at this moment in time.
Wow.
Kind of like a lot of other things that aren't that great. Notice the 66 in there, order 66. Just notice
this kind of suggests a Palpatine figure pulling strings behind the scenes to ruin everybody's gaming experience.
Yeah, it's like a puppet master who doesn't actually know where the puppets are. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's not very good. And so the point is, at some point in
what are you doing?
October, mine updated around October 15th, but I believe the
what are you doing? No! You don't know what you're doing. Maybe India can help you.
release date was around the 11th.
Locations on Twitter
for this KB patch, and it came out silently. You update your PC just updates, and you just you should want updates usually. You should usually want these things. Because they can fix issues, but in this case, it introduced issues specifically. And the only way we really got a sense about it is because Nvidia released a fix, a driver fix, a hotfix driver. So it's not WHQL released through NVApp, for example, or even a beta. It's a hotfix driver that is on an entirely different site on the Nvidia site. It downloads differently even. And that KB patch silently destroyed the performance in at least 2 games. The one I tested for this video, for our little segment here, is Assassin's Creed. I loaded it up, even without having... at the moment I loaded up, I was like, I don't remember installing this patch. I couldn't remember it, but I loaded it up and I was like, oh, this runs like crap. And I knew that something was wrong. So I double checked, and after having installed the hotfix driver, you can see how big of an issue this is. This is an RTX 5090, by the way, completely GPU limited at 4K DLSS quality mode. And it takes one scene, for example, in the game's intro chapter from 30 FPS or so, a little bit above 30, and which...
Bro, what are you spinning all... Bro, no. See, this right here, this makes people doubt PC gaming and the Magnus and everything else. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know when it comes with this company. I do not know what to tell you. That is not good. No. They are no good. They are very dung. And that is where they had... oh boy, how do you mess up this bad? Oh man, remember when they crashed the airports and everything last year? You do not know what this company, man. I cannot know.
Is awful performance, by the way, for that GPU, and it takes it up to 71 FPS. That is around like a 206% performance uplift in this scene, like vis-a-vis the original number. So around like 106% performance improvement there. Other scenes, it can be at the lowest I've measured was around a 50% performance improvement by using the hotfix from Nvidia. But in other scenes, like in the city right outside, I believe that's what, Kyoto? I can't remember the name of the city in the game. But another roughly 100% performance increase by installing the hotfix from Nvidia. Now, there's a couple things I have to say about this. The first one is, let's just say this was a DX conformity issue, that Nvidia had a conformity issue in their driver for some reason. The whole thing is, Microsoft should tell Nvidia that, and they shouldn't silently release a patch. So if it is technically Nvidia's fault, this shouldn't be happening 1 month later. It should be coming with a WHQL that comes at the exact same time as the release of this patch. And this should maybe be attached to the patch notes of that KB patch that came out, because we've had that in before. Definitely, this was something that happened in the Windows Vista and Windows 7 era quite often when we saw API updates. If it wasn't an NVIDIA DX conformity issue, this means Microsoft is releasing patches to Windows that it is not sure what it is doing. It is silently killing performance in games, and you're kind of left with the user or NVIDIA after the fact, or AMD or Intel, having to figure this out via their own testing regimen. And
that's not good. Definitely, if your Magnus is going to be Windows based and are doing stupid stuff like this, and you're stuck with that. Obviously, that's not a big thing compared to Windows updates, because so many people are on Windows and much more people are using Steam and all that other stuff. I mean, think about your Steam machine too, right? You're going to be like, you know what? I could avoid that, right? That's going to be a short user base too. But what I'm saying is that in the Windows sphere, and even in the Magnus, because they're connected, you don't want to see anything like this, because you're going to be sitting there like, what the hell do you want me to do? What are you going to do about it? No, nothing. You have to wait. And what technology is it using? If they're, like AMD, they're going to come and fix it. Maybe they may not be able to. And who knows how long you might be able to wait or might have to wait. I don't know. All of this is just makes me not want to trust anything from this company. It's not like I would get the Magnus anyways or want to deal with Windows. I do like Linux a lot better, and I hope they keep improving so they can get things better. To where it's like you don't need Windows anymore, but Microsoft monopolizes so much that it's hard to do that, and then you're stuck with stuff like this. This is what I mean about this company, and then they're not coming out saying anything. Like, they're just looking, it's like, oh, well, hold on 1 second, guys, we see this. No.
Hence why more than a month later, we see an update here from a hotfix driver from NVIDIA. Like, the timing is just really bizarre. And
that's what I mean. Look how long that took. Why does that happen? Same thing with the task manager crashing. How long did you have to wait? You're just sitting there all day. And even when you're not gaming, it's just messing with your whole PC existence. This company is just remedial, man. Like, this is why I don't trust AI either, because I kind of feel like there's something lazy going on here with that. It's a funny comment down here. It was something about Windows Copilot. Looks like the Windows patch was done by Copilot. I'm not signing this right now, but it is actually pretty funny, though. Otherwise, I would give that a like.
It's necessarily very good picture here of how Microsoft stewards their operating system, regardless of who's at the end of the day responsible for the actual issue occurring, because they're the ones updating their operating system. And maybe you should delay that patch until NVIDIA actually has proper support for it in their driver if it's a conformity issue. There's a lot of things that point to Microsoft just being an absolutely terrible steward for their operating system. And this is, unfortunately, I think the last maybe 2-3 months where we, like almost every other week, where we have to have a little crying 15-minute area where Alex, John, or Rich say, wow, Windows really sucks in its modern incarnation. And this is just another stack on that pile of issues. And I am quietly thinking that when the new year comes, I'm going to have a New Year's resolution where maybe I make a video of how do you transition to Linux? What is that even like? What is that like for a user? Because this is embarrassing. Like, imagine you're sitting there with your sweet, almost 3,000 USD RTX 5090 or whatever, and you're just like playing your favorite game, and it runs all of a sudden worse, and you're not even sure why. You have no clue. That's
Well,
bad user experience. That's bad user experience.
Microsoft is certainly putting a lot of effort into Copilot. So John asked Copilot what was going on with these driver updates. Short answer: the performance drop wasn't intentional sabotage by Microsoft. So we're going to go back towards this. Perhaps not so much a sort of Palpatine level of interference here in Windows. Maybe sort of Mr. Bean meets Palpatine.
Not sabotage.
These updates negatively affected GPU performance in certain games, leading to lower frame rates and slowdowns until Nvidia and AMD released hotfix drivers.
Why do they have to do that, though? You know what I mean? They're the ones that cause that issue. There's a thing about this company, man. It's like when things happen, it's like, why are somebody else coming out from the outside to fix the issues? This is what I mean by, like, this company is just, oh, man, I can't lately. Please tell me how. You know what I mean? No, man.
I like the way, John's query was, why did Microsoft destroy performance in these games? And then Copilot says, why performance felt destroyed? FPS drops. Games ran at noticeably lower frame rates after the updates. Slowdowns beyond FPS. Some users reported sluggishness even when frame rates didn't drop, suggesting deeper system-level inefficiencies.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, I mean, how does this happen? I mean, not even Copilot can actually explain how this happened. As what's the cause here? Why did frame rate go down by 50% or whatever? This is like astonishing. You tested this morning. You've got these very nice visualizations for us, and I actually saw some testing saying like a 32% drop in performance, which you did note in one of your scenes. But, I think the bottom line is those tests are probably from the inbuilt benchmark. And just by coming up with some these are the most basic of gaming scenarios. There's nothing going on in your
It's literally just loading up saves that I had made when I reviewed the game. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even playing the game. It's just sitting there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty bad, man. And I don't know, man. If I had a 5090, I would be very angry about that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and have to sit here and wait this long. Yeah, man, that's ridiculous.
And look at that. That's outrageous. I mean, who is responsible? Somebody's got to basically take charge. Here's the thing that worries me, right? About Windows. It's obviously we're hearing new things about Copilot and how great it is every week, but obviously things are going wrong on the gaming side. And I'm just going back all the way to 2013 when the Xbox One and the PS4 were out. And, at the time it was from Microsoft, they kind of destroyed the prospects for Xbox One because it was all TV. Fast forward to 2025 and it's all AI. Meanwhile, it seems to be the people like Nvidia who are actually sort of taking control of the gaming ecosystem on PC. What's happening with DirectX? Where are the advances in DirectX? We've seen some bits and pieces, but it seems to be kind of like half-hearted attempts to standardize what NVIDIA is doing anyway.
Yeah.
There's a real fundamental lack of leadership in Windows gaming at the moment. And my concern is that just like TV ruined Xbox One, AI is going to ruin Windows PC. I mean, we're already seeing that things are not going well there. And foundational problems seem to take years to. I mean, obviously, we've got advanced shader delivery coming online now, which is set to address an issue. We've literally. I mean, when was the first time you talked about shader compilation stutter? Like 4 or 5 years ago, Alex?
Don't get me started.
The first time was with Control, where I explicitly mentioned in videos, but it actually was kind of semi-referenced even before then. But that would be 2019 in August.
Right. So here we are, 6 years later. Over 6 years later, and it's like, maybe we should be coming up with a solution for that. 6 years. And actually, thinking about it, Alex, going back to, I guess it would be Battlefield 5, that was probably one of the first games. I'm not sure whether it was that or Battlefield 1. One of the first games where, I think it was Battlefield 1, by the way, where it would horribly stutter when you started a level on that game. Yes. But only when you use the DX12 path. it was something like, okay, well, something's going wrong here, and we hadn't really sort of figured out what the problem was, but there was a problem there. I mean, if I was somebody in Microsoft fully aware of what was going on, then, surely the flag should have been, the red flag should have been waved at that point. Yeah, I mean, the lack of leadership here. I mean, they've got it all to lose, Microsoft, at this point, because we've got SteamOS launching, 3 years ago, palpable solutions to problems in the PC gaming space, and they're doing great work there.
Yeah. And well said, by all of them. And that's exactly what I was talking about, guys. That it's hard to trust Microsoft, and then when they mess up, the solution takes forever. As of they don't have a damn clue, and somebody else has to step in. Like they said, Nvidia has to come in and do something almost a month later, or AMD or something, because they're just sitting there like, oh yeah, well my thumb up my behind, and I just released. I didn't say anything. This time just passes. Don't say anything. Like, why would you want to bet on that company or invest into something from them long term? It just makes you not want to. Not only have they already killed Xbox, this might be my headline, but now Windows Gaming is next, it seems. And like he was saying, TV, AI, right? And then when you look at that, that's a huge gamble they're taking. And you do see by them going to AI, what have they been doing for something they don't care about? Just let it die off and don't care, because they want to jump next to something. And then you see them drop off certain other programs. Just everything this company is doing. I try to tell you, they are on a tear of just the most stupidest behavior you're ever going to see, and untrustworthy. And I have to tell you, I don't want anything to do with them. I haven't, even with my new setup over here, I have not even used the Xbox app or anything, and I don't care to. I want nothing to do with this company at the moment. It's just hard for me to care about them. And then after everything, they come with these stupid crocs and saying this is an Xbox. They're just a stupid company, and I don't want anything to do with them. I really don't.
Bizarre. Oliver, thoughts on this debacle, the next debacle for Windows?
Oh man, I think it's unfortunate. I was just looking through here, and there's no real documentation in the notes for this hotfix about anything that seems like it could be related to gaming performance. Specifically, I noted that under the gaming section, they mentioned a controller input fix that I think is related to the Xbox full screen experience, but nothing about this, and then I couldn't find any other mention of anything that could seem to interface with this kind of issue. So that's certainly a concern if these things are going on and there's poor documentation or no documentation as to what occurred. That's also potentially an issue. But I think this is just a funny problem because I don't like Windows very much, but the more people use Windows, which is not really me, I don't use Windows a ton, the more they seem to dislike it, at least judging from Alex and John's experience.
Yeah.
And I have a very casual use of Windows that basically involves booting and just sitting in the Steam big picture mode the entire time, with a controller in my hand. But even still, I run into issues, but it really seems like the more you use it, the more frustrations there are. Whereas with macOS and iOS and game consoles, I kind of always feel like the more I use them, the more I appreciate them. And I don't really run into deep-seated issues with macOS, even though I'm using it extensively for my work and extensively with complex applications. I don't really run into new deep issues in the same way that even me on Premiere, I use Premiere very sparingly, but just using Premiere on my Windows machine, it is super buggy, and that's another issue, just third-party Windows software not being very good. Well, Premiere in particular, it's also bad on Mac, so maybe I shouldn't rag on Windows there. But I don't think it's a good sign that Microsoft's most dedicated customers, who Alex, Alex is literally spending his entire life in Windows. He's gaming in Windows, writing in Windows, he's editing in Windows, he's doing everything in Windows. He's spending all day on Windows, and he uses old Windows. He knows what that's like. He's using newer versions of Windows. He knows what that's like. If even he, your most dedicated Windows soldier, well, maybe not that, but
we're walking off to the OS wars.
Yeah, you certainly do use it very extensively. If even you are having noting some big recurring issues and having issues in your workflow, I think that's just some very deep problems that Microsoft should be taking a very serious look at.
Yeah, there's also sort of a complete lack of appreciation of feedback. There's just weird things in Windows that people really hate, but Microsoft don't do anything about. I mean, one of the things you often see is the concept of a vertical sidebar for the taskbar.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
Yeah, that would be nice. Guys, I do that all the time. This is why I had to change my OBS setup because I don't want your stupid little taskbar in the way of my thing. Why can't I put it over like that? That would be nice. But he's right though. It's like you have people telling Microsoft, like maybe some of the brightest minds, right? Definitely Digital Foundry, because they do this their whole life. There's a lot of other people coming to have really good feedback, and you can tell that company that, and it's almost like you're talking to a brick wall. Or are you know what I mean? Like, are you paying attention, Microsoft? And they're just off in their own stupid agenda consistently. And then by the time they find out, it's like, yeah, you killed your platform. You destroyed that too. Your Windows Store was garbage for over 10 years. Everybody knows this. There's too many things about this company where you could say, why are you just now fixing your Windows Store after so long? You know what I mean? Why are you now fixing this after so long? Like you're saying, 6 years to finally find out about the shader compilation issues. Why am I dealing with shader compilation loadings in 2025 when I thought we were moving forward for things to be faster? There's just so many things you can find wrong, like with Microsoft, that it's not even funny. Like I said, I could spend the rest of my life making content against this dumb company, and it's annoying because like you would want them to do the right things, but it's like, why are you monopolizing to be the worst? You know what I mean? And it just gets annoying after a while to where you just don't want anything to do with the company anymore. This is a really good video about Digital Foundry and just to let you guys know what's going on with the latest updates and some other things that were going on. And it makes people want to doubt Windows updates when they come and you see that you're like, oh yeah, I think I want to extend that out because I want to see what's going to go on first. You know what I mean? It's like when you see certain drivers like, oh, I want to extend that out and go read on Reddit or read on the forums and see what people's experience are because I don't want to dip in performance and I don't want to be stuck with that or having to roll back or just deal with annoying stuff. But when it comes to Microsoft, you have to do this. So let me know what you guys think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. Once again, be careful with Windows updates. You know what you can do. Extend it 1 week, extend it 2 weeks. You can extend it up to like almost a month out. So you don't be get hit with a stupid Windows update by maybe some dumb AI. Later, y'all. Peace out. You know how it is, man. More Microsoft nonsense.